Andrew Wilson gets into a fiery and unfiltered takedown with Natty, the woke feminist, and stuff in this particularly heated debate where the debate mod has a massive crash out. Okay, so yeah, this one gets so crazy that both sides are, basically cutting each other off. But at the end, Andrew Wilson definitely, decimates this woke feminist here with the foolish narrative where she still doesn't go ahead and provide any proof. So yeah, Andrew Wilson definitely beats her with facts and stuff, where to the point where even the debate march starts crashing out several times throughout this particularly heated debate. So here we are with Andrew Wilson absolutely going nuclear in this heated debate on this woke feminist, calling her out, and the debate mod having a massive crash out. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
More pious than you, so you are wrong. Decrying someone's faith requires apostolic. Thank you.
No worries.
Proofs, not talking crap about their wife.
Oh, okay. So I read out the majority of a sermon by a bishop. I also quoted a theologian who I got most of my talking points from, and I also have spiritual advice in regards to what I've said. So I'm here as a sinner, just like Andrew is. And to be honest, one of the things I would probably support Andrew on is the claim that we both need some kind of bishop's permission to be here. We kind of don't. We're laymen. We can correct each other as long as we are using what the church says as an authority, and we don't try to claim to be an authority. I don't claim to be an authority, and neither does Andrew. So I'll give him that.
Which is why I don't see your authority. I literally just don't see your authority to even make any of these claims
I've just said
about
neither
correction.
of us have an authority, dude.
Yeah, I know. So you should move it up the chain to the next authority before you start making
and
these.
all my talking points come from
And
bishops
I would
and
like,
theologians.
I would like for you to actually move this up the chain of command, so I can send them this video and they can see for themselves what you are.
Absolutely, please do that.
Isn't it because women can't be like priests and things, right, like that? So inevitably, wouldn't it be I don't know what it is in the Orthodox. I mean, I would say priests of some
Generally
sort.
speaking, in this is what happens in the Orthodox Church. When she's talking about call-outs especially, we actually don't usually do things this way. We actually usually, if we're going to do corrections and things like this, we go behind the scenes. We don't make it public, and we get clergy involved if we really think that the other person is doing something wrong, so that correction can come outside of the public eye. The reason that we do that is because it's not worth it to besmirch one of our fellow Orthodox brothers or sisters. I've always done this whenever I have a dispute with somebody who's Orthodox.
And so have I.
Approach them. When? When have you ever approached me privately? When?
Dude, you had me blocked from like 2 years ago, so that wasn't possible.
You could have approached me through other channels. Did you ever make an attempt?
I've asked Marte about the emails that's been sent to his church.
Let me ask
you never once.
Hold on.
Why don't you put a link to your church in the comments, and then we can do that
Let me ask you this.
Oh yeah, so you can dox me.
Children, enough.
Why would I dox you, bro?
Yeah, whatever, dude.
Why wouldn't Natty? Why wouldn't we go through another protocol? Right? Do you find it? Hold on.
No clout, Sarah. There's no clout in that.
Do you find it to be?
Clout.
Yeah, it is about.
Up. Do you find it to be your duty, Natty, to be the caller outer of the Orthodox Christian group? Is that your job, your duty? Is that, or do you have a role in the church that gives you that position?
No.
So I mean,
hang on. My role here is to talk about how gynocentrism worldview is a distinct attack on the Theotokos, which misrepresents how Christianity was in the West. Even though I'm not a Roman Catholic, I don't agree with what Peter Wright says about Roman Catholicism and that women had the archetype of the Virgin Mary. And
that's not the claim that you're making a different claim here that read the debate prompt. Read the debate prompt. What's the debate prompt?
Anyway, so
what's the debate prompt, Sarah? Can you tell me?
The debate prompt is in this. I took this prompt directly from and no shots at you, Natty. This came directly from your message to me. I want to debate Andrew, and I said, what is the prompt or topic, whatever. And this is exactly what she said. Andrew and Rachel are represented a distorted version of Orthodox Christianity.
So this is a church. This is a church matter. What she's saying is that publicly, I am doing something which is bad against the Orthodox Church. Now,
Yes.
usually, just so you know, Sarah, and the audience knows, the way that this would normally be handled, especially with somebody who has such a public persona as I do and somebody who's as high profile as me, in order to avoid any potential public embarrassments towards our church through bickering and fighting and stuff like that, you would go through the protocols of using back doors to talk to a person like this, and you would discuss these problems with them in depth, right? And if you couldn't get anywhere that way, then you would take it up to the next step, and you would bring in clergy so that they could assist you in whatever this correction was. Natty didn't do any of that. Instead, what Natty has done is fought tooth and nail to have public spaces where I'm not even invited, talking tons of shit about me, which I've never done about her, by the way. I've never done it once. I've never, hang on, let me finish, Natty, and then he can respond. I've never one time started a public space devoted to Natty to besmirch her, talk smack about her. Nothing, never, not one time have I ever done that. In fact, I've only ever responded by going into her spaces so that I could defend myself and my good name.
So what's actually being discussed now is based on a scripture from the book of Matthew, chapter 18, beginning at verse 1, talking about if your brother sins against you. Okay, so it reads, basically talks about, if a brother sins against you, you have to go tell him what he did wrong by yourself, and to him make sure you two are alone, and between you and him alone. If he listens to you, you have gained your brother. But if he does not listen, take one or two others along with you, that every charge may be established by evidence of 2 or 3 witnesses, those who are far more spiritual than you and stuff. If he refuses to listen to them, tell it to the church itself. And if he refuses to listen to even to the church, let him be to you as a Gentile and a tax collector. Okay. So basically, I'm not sure how in their denomination, how they do these things, because I'm non-denominational Christian, but biblically speaking, that's what you have to do in order to restore someone that is either doing wrong or wickedness and sin and stuff. Okay. And the fact of the matter is that, Andrew is saying to this particular, woman here, Natty, that the process of doing it in their church, but it's not necessarily, scripturally sound, because it says take somebody that's a brother, not somebody who's in a particular position. Okay. It could be a brother, it could be a sister of the church as well. But the fact of the matter is that, when it comes down to these different religious doctrines and stuff, it's like exactly how much of it is actually biblical. So that's what this particular topic is actually coming down to. Okay. Whether or not, if they're doing it by the Bible or by what their church rules are and stuff. They're just basically talking about this. And Andrew is simply telling her that he's not, besmirching her or anything, talking bad about her behind her back, let alone even criticizing her harshly and stuff, while she's accusing him of doing these things. Okay. So the fact of the matter is that they're doing the way that they're seeing is done right in through their church, but at the same time, I mean, not necessarily biblically sound, but Andrew Wilson is definitely calling her out on this.
I don't operate this way. Under the Orthodox Church guidelines, I don't disrespect clergy I disagree with either. I would never in a million years come on here, ever, and start bad-mouthing clergy like Father McPherson, Father Josiah Trenum. I would never, any more than I would Father Spiridon Bailey, who's my favorite. Okay, I would never in a million years begin besmirching their name, ever. That's not our role, and this could have been handled completely differently, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Anyway, so I can tell you how Andrew is lying. I used to be in the J Dyer server like 3 years ago, whenever it was, and then I was in the Foundry server, and I have actually had interaction with Andrew and Rachel in there. And then when I realized that they were aligning with Pearl Davies, of all people, that's when I realized that they were going down the route of infusing red pill with their worldview.
Who is that?
And I'm talking.
I'm going to interrupt for just a moment, and I'll give it back to you.
Pearl Davies? Are you serious, bro? You've done streams about her and with her.
Hold on, hold on.
I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Pearl Davis, and over there in UK, they're pronouncing it as Pearl Davies or Davies, stuff like that.
Trying to tell me you don't know who Pearl
Both of you, for just a second. I have to pee.
I don't think I do.
I have to pee really bad. I'm stepping away. Good luck. I'll be right back.
No, really. Who is it?
You don't know who Pearl Davies is?
Oh, Pearl Davis.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Well, I didn't understand what the you were saying.
Anyway, I spoke to Rachel. I contacted her and said, listen, I don't know why you are embracing Pearl Davis. And she responded back calling me an ankle biter and then blocked me.
So?
Yeah. So you said to me that I did not try and speak to you guys directly. I did. I know, right, that people have complained to your church about you. That has happened already.
Oh, well then, I guess if people complain to my church about me, that it would be up to my church to offer up that correction along with my spiritual father.
Yeah.
I guess I'll worry about that, and you worry about you.
Well, you try.
I mean, Andrew Wilson is right about that because of the fact of the matter is that, you know, if he actually has some like a religious leader that he is associated with, let him deal with him. And as far as she's concerned, well, she shouldn't have to correct Andrew Wilson because, well, she should have went on ahead and got somebody else to, you know, I mean, yeah, she tried to contact Andrew Wilson on like this particular matter of what she said she thinks that she's done to him. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I'm pretty sure that, you know, as she said that she might have had him blocked, but he doesn't remember, you know, her contacting him or them even talking about such things. So pretty sure that, you know, Andrew Wilson has definitely, you know, got receipts of that. And you always comes with receipts, but apparently she still has this sort of ill will against Andrew Wilson over this. And biblically speaking, she didn't really take the next step and stuff, or at least try to go ahead and set up a meeting where they can meet alone, whether it's online or even over the phone.
To claim that hasn't been done, and I'm saying that.
So what you're saying is that not only did you not actually try to contact me privately so we could hash these things out. You didn't. But then you and your sewing circle friends got together to launch a series of complaints about me behind my back.
Sewing circle.
Yeah, you decided to launch a series of complaints. You decided to launch a bunch of complaints behind my back to my church.
Wrong with a sewing circle. Isn't that what you want?
Yeah, I usually make that referent because what happens is you women will get together and you'll start to demonize a man and you'll do things like go behind their back to contact their church and contact their parish so that you can somehow impugn or hurt them.
You just told everybody that the way to handle calling out another layman who's misrepresenting the church is to go directly to their clergy, and then you've just gone and said that because I'm a woman and I'm somehow in a sewing circle, I'm not allowed to do that.
No, what I said is that the practice of doing the opposite. What I said is that the practice of doing this would be that you could have contacted all sorts of people who would have linked you up so that we could have had these conversations about whatever your fucking concerns were, and you didn't. Where? Show us the proof.
I'll wait.
Show us the proof. Show us the proof.
Right. And that actually brings
now
us
we're going to go into throw the proof again.
Yeah, the proof. I know, the thing you never have.
Well, that was definitely interesting because of the fact of the matter is that even the moderator went on ahead and had a big crash out twice. 2 times. Okay, so this particular woke feminist still hasn't provided any proof of what, you know, she actually, in the whole debate in general, where she accused Andrew Wilson of saying these things about gynocentrism, as well as, you know, contacting her contacting him about a particular matter and stuff that bothered her, about them talking about her and everything. But the problem is, I'm pretty sure Andrew Wilson didn't really talk about her behind her back to other people, let alone if he did, he would have had those receipts and she would have had those receipts as well. But as you all know, Never Learn Natty doesn't have receipts, okay? She doesn't even have proof of stuff. So Andrew Wilson has definitely called her out on this one, has also went nuclear on her in this heated debate. And also it was at the same time messed up that the moderator had 2 crash out episodes on Andrew Wilson and Natty over this particular thing. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. What do you think about Never Learn Natty as well as Andrew Wilson in this heated debate? And I'll see you all in the next one.